Are you helping or enabling the person that you love? Let's talk about it. So I'm sure most of us know or have known someone in our life that we have tried to assist, and for some reason it seems as though there's an aspect of their life that they just cannot get right. And because we love this person or these people, we genuinely want the best for them. We want to see them succeed. We want to help them to get to that next level where they should be in their lives. But when does helping become harming? So helping, how do we know that we are helping this person? So helping normally comes in the form of giving assistance to someone who genuinely cannot do it for themselves. Maybe they physically cannot do it. They don't have the financial means to do it. There's something that is completely blocking them from being able to do this thing for themselves. Helping also comes in the form of realizing that someone doesn't have the means, but they are trying. You see them trying to get to the next level of their life, but they just need that extra push. They need that extra oomph. They need that extra support, like many of us do. Enabling, on the other hand, is completely taking away that person's responsibility. That person have the ability to do what they should be doing, their responsibilities, but they choose not to. And we take away their consequences of their actions. Enabling is when we tolerate their toxic behavior and reinforce those unhealthy habits. And because maybe we don't want to deal with confrontation, or because we ourselves are uncomfortable, or we just want the situation dealt with, we don't want a long talking, it just needs to get done. It needs to get done. Then we take up that mantle, that person's mantle, when we should be allowing them to carry it out on their own. I want to say is that when we enable those people that we love, we are literally allowing them to continue their toxic behavior. And that's a reason why we see so much chaos in society today, because we have people who have responsibility, but they're not taking ownership of it. They're not being held accountable, because there are some people out there who pick up their slack. I know we've heard the term many times, especially in the Bahamas. Not my good son. Your good son, ma'am, who get catch in 4K stealing out that store with a gun in his hand. Armed robbery. Your good son. And then guess what? Instead of him serving his time, you gonna pay that boy bail. You gonna even must put your house up. You know how you put your house up, your property up for in court and all of that stuff? You gonna put your house up for your good son. Just an example. Instead of allowing him to feel the consequences of his actions. And you know what's gonna happen? Sometimes, yes, people learn their lesson. But many times, for some reason, we as human beings have this innate feature in us where we just love to take advantage. We just love to see how much people would do for us. And so we let them do it. And I want to let you know that you might think that enabling that person, constantly helping that person is love. Baby, you are doing so much more harm that you can ever imagine. You may be saying, well, Jasmine, how do I know that I am enabling? First of all, you have to look at these signs. Can this person take up their own mantle? Seriously speaking, if you wasn't doing it for them, would they be able to find a way to do it for themselves? Also, do you find yourself constantly having to give this person money? And I'm not talking about the obvious, responsibilities that you may have. I'm talking about, for some reason, this person just always need money. And it's their job, it's their responsibility. They're old enough to hold a job. They're not being responsible with their finances. They're not being responsible with their decision making. And so they always come to you for financial support. In addition to that, do you find yourself constantly making excuses for them? Well, why didn't so-and-so do this thing that they know they were supposed to do? Oh, you know, the time get away from them and they couldn't find a ride and this and that and a cloud drop out the sky so they couldn't do it. Really? But they could find the time and the means to do every other thing that they want to do. But when it comes to responsibility and ownership and accountability, they don't know nothing about that. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to get around to it. Nothing. Baby, come on. Toxic behavior. How to stop yourself from enabling. Set boundaries. Be honest with yourself. How much of a burden is this on you? Because you matter. How much is this taking a toll on you mentally, spiritually, financially? And be honest with yourself. Is this something that you deserve? Is this something that would be put on you from someone who loves you? Or from someone who's harming you? Find out the answer to that question and create boundaries that work for you. In addition to that, I would also say you need to communicate, because communication is key. That person who seems to can't get it right, talk to them and be like, hey, you know I love you. I've been supporting you with this situation for XY long. I want the best for you, but what's going on here? What are your goals to get over this hump? What are you doing? And if they can't show you a real legitimate plan, it's time for you to pack up and let them deal with it on their own. And because we know that those who we love, unfortunately, they can spin the truth a little bit. They're not fully honest. We know that even though we ask them what's going on, it's not going to get better. So the next thing to do would be to get professional help for them. Whether you need to carry them to get them that professional help, or get someone to go to them so that they can receive that professional help, or just give them the contacts so that they can get that professional help. As a matter of fact, I would say just every method you could do that you can possibly do, try to do it. Carry them there. Let them try to get the help. I'm not saying stick around too long, but I'm just saying so that you can feel peace within yourself. Because as enablers, that's something that we also have to acknowledge. Why are we so willing to help this person, right? And how do we feel if we don't help this person to what we think is the best of our ability? And that leads me to the next thing. You have to check in on you. You have to also go and get that help, because you've been bleeding yourself dry. And it's affecting you, whether you want to admit it or not. And so whatever seeking help looks like for you, I would invite you to go and do that. That healing is something that you cannot run from. And I want to invite y'all to seriously take into account the domino effect that transpires after continuously taking away someone's responsibility from them, after continuously making excuses for them, after continuously enabling them. What is that doing to that person in the long run? What is that doing to the people that's surrounding that person? And how is that affecting society in the long run? I think we need to wake up and realize that we are only one person and there's only so much that we can do. I think it's time for us to realize that you can love people from a distance. Yes, pray for them. Yes, point them in the direction of that professional. Carry them to that professional. You can help set them up with professional assistance and guidance and advice. But it's time to stop loving people more than you love yourself. It's killing you. Sometimes tough love is the very thing that they need to help them break that cycle. Sometimes tough love is the very thing that person who you love need to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time for us to be held accountable. It's time for us to take responsibility.